went to try out for basketball in the 7th grade. I was 6'5", going into the 7th grade, and I remember going in that gym. I had my shorts on. You remember those shorts? Kirby, you got some of those shorts. Bill, I know you got a pair in your closet, dude. I think they might come back. I think they might come back in style. I walked in that gym with my tank top on. I was confident when I walked in. I knew I couldn't play. I wasn't a very good player, but I was confident because I knew a little about basketball. The rim was 10 feet from the floor. I'm closer to this rim than any of these other guys trying out for the team, so my chances have got to be good. So I go in there, and we go through all these drills, man. It was just one of the toughest things I'd ever had to do in my entire young life. When it was all said and done, I came back to school the next day to run down the hall and look at that gym door where the names were posted, who made the team. And I'm standing there looking as if my name was going to suddenly appear on the piece of paper, and it didn't. As a 13-year-old, that was failure to me. It was failure. I didn't know how to handle it. I remember bawling all day long because now I had to go home after school and tell my parents that I had failed. And failure is not a good thing, is it? It's not a good feeling. It's something sometimes we like to avoid. But then there are other opportunities. My 8th grade came along. I'd grown during the summer. I was 6'7½". I walked by that poster, basketball tryouts soon. Well, all I wanted to do was be like Dr. J, man. I wanted to be able to make that move that he made in a real basketball game. I showed up for practice, came back the next day. My name's not on that paper again. My goodness. I grew 2.5 inches for this. But when that happens, when failure comes again in your life, what does it mean to you? Well, to me, even at that age, it meant, okay, right now I need something. I need somebody to tell me it's going to be okay, somebody to tell me that not to give up. Well, I didn't have to wait long for some encouragement. Coach Gray, who was the coach who cut me the year before and had just cut me in the 8th grade, he came out of his office. He walked up to me. He crossed his arms like this. He looked up at me like this. And this is what he said. He said, "Give it up, son. You were not meant to play basketball." He said, "I'm looking for guys who can help me win a championship this year." I say, "I know." He says, "I know you play the tuba and trombone. You go play that. I see that in your future. Don't come out for my team next year. I know you have one more year to go, but you'll be wasting my time and yours too." Did I break down and cry in front of this man? No. Here was a guy in a leadership position, a guy who I probably thought knew me better than I knew myself. I went home that summer thinking about Dr. J. I'd be out there by myself on my dirt court practicing his moves. Well, my 9th grade year came. I remember walking into school 6 feet 9 inches tall and not paying any attention to that basketball poster, but I found out something. I found out that another opportunity may have come my way. Coach Gray had moved to another school, a new coach now, Coach Cole. He didn't know me. I didn't know him. Should I try out for this basketball team this year? I don't know. Those 2 years of failure were very painful for me. I think I might want to stay away from this. But what if I never know? What if I never know what could have happened? I've got an opportunity here. And that came from all the things, being around the positive people. I tried out for that basketball team that year. I remember it being a totally different atmosphere. Coach came up and congratulated everybody for being there and trying, and he would come around and give them compliments. Came up to me once and said, "Thurl, good shot blocker. You're going to be a great shot blocker." "Thanks, Coach." I'd be guarding a guy smaller than me. He'd shoot it. I put my hands up, hit my hands. Wow. Guess that's the block shot. I walked down the hall the next day after tryouts and looked at that list, and it was the most exciting moment in my life. I didn't have to look very far because my name was right there. As a matter of fact, I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool because my name was the first one on the list. I was like, wow, yeah, I'm the first one. Alphabetical order, but, you know, I was the first name on the list. But I didn't play much in junior high school. I was one of the starting five. It was so awesome to have my parents there at the games. I went in for the jump balls. Once we got the possession, the coach called a timeout and took me out for the rest of the game. But I didn't care. I didn't care. I knew it was an accomplishment. I went on to high school, wasn't good enough to play varsity, played a year of JV. But let me tell you that when I made that basketball team in the 9th grade, Coach Cole called me into his office. That meeting changed my life. As I sat down in front of him, he looked at me and said, Thurl, you've got a lot of work to do if you want to be a great basketball player. He said, but if you're willing to sacrifice some things, if you're willing to do what it takes, I will come in 1 hour before basketball practice to work with you, and I will stay 1 hour. I'm wondering why. I'm going to quote him right now. He looked me in my eyes and he said, because I see potential in you. I see potential in you that you don't even see in yourself. In high school, I got a scholarship to North Carolina State University in 1983 under the leadership of a great coach, Jim Valvano. We pulled off one of the most incredible victories in NCAA history by beating a great Houston Phi Slamma Jamma team. If my basketball career ended there, it would have been okay. But I'm at the NBA draft in 1983, and the announcer says the Utah Jazz have the first round 7th pick in the draft, and they called my name. It was a, thank you. It was a dream come true for me. Was I good enough to play in the NBA and stay? I didn't think so then. The greatest moment in my basketball career happened to me in one of my first games. I'm sitting on the bench in this building where the Salt Palace used to be for the Utah Jazz. Coach Frank Layden's coaching the team. He calls my name as a young, scared rookie. I run to the scorer's table. I remember having to go to the bathroom so bad at that point. I run to the scorer's table. I walk in the game, and that night we're playing the Philadelphia 76ers. I walk out on the court before the referee blows the whistle and the game starts. I get a tap on my shoulder. Man reaches his hand out. He says, congratulations on a great college season. Welcome to the NBA. It was Dr. J. It was Dr. J. It was the same Dr. J I had watched on that black and white TV set. As I came to my senses, I knew that I had to guard him that night. He was still in his prime. If I could make him work, maybe it would be my turn, my opportunity. I think I worked harder than I'd ever had in basketball, and I held Dr. J that night to 47 points.